Welcome back, I'm Sean, and when the DJI Osmo Pocket first came out many years ago, I thought it was a brilliant move by DJI, and it's always what I wanted. And I also got one at launch and proceeded to sell it off not long after that because of some of the flaws that I think they have. And in today's world of extreme capable action cameras and 360 cameras with insane stabilization, do we really still need a gimbal camera? So today I'll be comparing the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 with one of my personal favorites, the Insta360 X3, so let's check it out. So to start off, this is not a sponsored post by Insta360, and this review is based solely on my honest and unbiased opinion about these devices that I have. So I personally love cameras, and anything from action cameras to 360 cameras, and I love to switch things up, especially for my activities. I do mountain biking on the side, so what I've shared here truly comes from my own experience as a person who loves all things cameras. So starting off with the tradition of the Sean Talks Tech channel, so the pricing here. So the Pocket 3 here is a newly launched camera, and frankly it's almost out of stock everywhere you go, meaning it's very difficult to find one now, at least where I live, and you're not going to get good deals from it because it's all going to be retail price. So the base model of the Pocket 3 comes in at $519 US, and the combo set comes in at $669 US, so that's pretty steep. However, the X3 on the other hand comes in at a starting price of $450 US, and you can get a whole bunch of combos at different price points. So comparing the value wise, I think the X3 definitely has a better value since you're gonna get a 4K single lens mode as well as a 360 camera. It's essentially two cameras in one. So another cool thing here is that if you've been shooting videos for a while, you know that one of the key things, especially for travel videos, is to make something interesting and shooting in different perspective, right? Because the human eye perspective is the general things that you normally see, and you really want to get it, different perspective to make your shots look a little bit more dynamic. And as a person who likes to ride bikes, I think we have our GoPros and everything like that for your POV shots. But what's cool about the Insta360 camera is the ability to shoot yourself in a third-person view, like someone is actually filming you or you have a drone following you around. And this is done via the invisible selfie stick that Insta360 has, and since the camera knows where the stitch line is, which is this particular line where the lens is actually not filming the invisible selfie stick, and this is how you can get a drone-like shot or as though someone is actually running with you while you're riding your bike. And honestly, as much as I love the Pocket 3, no matter how you slice it, it's still a traditional camera. So you either have someone to film you, or you're gonna have to do it like, a selfie style video with your Pocket 3. And the trouble with me getting the Pocket 3 in frame is because the field of view is pretty narrow. And you can definitely use a selfie stick to extend the angle, but the gimbal does go into a very limited angle, and the shot isn't that dynamic as compared to a 360 camera. So the next thing we want to talk about is flexibility, and with a 360 camera, the Insta360 will give you the best bang for your buck, and you're practically getting two cameras in one. So as I mentioned, a 360 camera as well as a 4K single lens camera that shoots ultra stable footage. And to be honest, I think the Pocket 3 has its application, and it's still a tool that I'll bring around for my travels. But for cameras that you can film now and compose later, really nothing beats the flexibility of the X3. So with the X3, it's easy to just point the camera in a general direction, keeping in mind the 360 stitch line, and you're good to go. But with the Pocket 3, it's still a gimbal, and gimbal, you still really need to have those, gimbal movements, slow movements, to really get that cinematic shot. And sometimes the gimbal doesn't really catch up with you. As you can see, if I turn this around, it takes a while for the gimbal to follow you, because that's how you get the smoothest footages. But because of that, sometimes you do miss your shots. So another area that I dislike about the Pocket 3 now is how narrow the field of view is, and you're really not going to feel this until you really hold it, put it in front of you as a selfie mode, and you really see how narrow it is. So you're gonna get only a 109-degree angle, and sometimes it's really just not enough. And to be honest, I'm really quite used to the ultra wide angle shots, especially on the iPhone, as well as hyper view on the GoPro, and the Pocket 3 really isn't wide enough for my liking. and that's why DJI sells you a wide angle adapter right at launch. So the X3 here definitely gives you practically unlimited field of view when it comes to 360 video, but even in the 4K single lens mode, you're getting an insane 170-degree field of view that almost captures your peripheral visions, which is cool. So another thing I want to talk about is the stabilization, and the Pocket 3 comes with the gimbal, which is a very good stabilization tool, especially when you don't want to deal with cropped footages. However, back to the issue of the field of view with the Pocket 3, it's honestly a little too tight for my liking, and with the Insta360 X3, it's really not an issue since the camera captures a full spherical video. So stabilization is practically on point for most of your shooting criteria. So not only that, the X3 also comes with horizontal and vertical horizon lock to ensure that you can literally turn the camera 360 degrees and your footage will still look like it's on a stable center. So this is pretty common in many action cameras nowadays, and it's something a physical gimbal such as the Pocket 3 still cannot achieve mechanically. So if you try to turn the Pocket 360 around, you can see the screen is actually tilting together, and you're not going to get that horizon lock as you tilt the camera around. So another big thing that the original Pocket didn't have was waterproofing, and for the Pocket 3 unfortunately isn't waterproof still. So thanks to its open style mechanism and exposed memory card slot, and I know the application for a gimbal-like camera, just like the Pocket 3, isn't mainly for diving or swimming, but when you're on the holidays and it suddenly rains and you need to keep your Pocket 3 and you can't film just so that it doesn't get damaged, and that just spoils the fun. And if you're serious about getting it wet, you need to get a dive case for the Pocket 3 so that it can be remotely near any body of water, which isn't the coolest thing ever. Which goes back to the capabilities of the X3 or many action cameras for that matter. Most cameras on the market today should be waterproof out of the box, and that's something that even cameras like GoPro have done for many generations now. The X3 is IPX8 waterproof out of the box, means you can actually bring this diving without any funny cases up to a depth of 33 feet, and that's pretty awesome. And last but not least, with any Insta360 devices, the value proposition is truly with the app and the AI editing suite. So the most versatile part of the app is the ability to reframe and to get multiple shots of the same scene after the fact, and this is only achievable in a 360 camera. And there are also many other AI capabilities like sky swapping or intelligently editing a video out from the Insta360 app itself. And if you haven't truly experienced the 360 camera's experience before, then it's something you actually get addicted to, you know, swiping over for hours just to get, you know, every single frame right, and you can export it. And once you're done with that, you can also move it around again just to get a different angle. So that's pretty nice. So as you can see here from the app itself, this is me trying to reframe some of the shots that I've already had. And one great thing about this that I want to highlight is that even when you're filming and you preview it on your camera itself, the X3 camera itself, you do see that stitch line there, but when you move it to the app, the processing is so instantaneous that, you know, you will see the stitch line for a while, and after that, the stitch line just disappears altogether. And I'm not too sure what magic this Insta360 have, but it just stitches everything almost perfectly, except for probably facial experience. And if you have the invisible selfie stick far enough, you basically have a very perfect image out of the box, which is amazing. And as you can see here, I can actually swipe around the app very conveniently, and I can reframe it to unlimited possibilities. Just basically moving the screen around, make sure that all my framing is right. Oh, maybe this scene has this special thing that I want to show, and I can just frame it there, and I can just add a new keyframe there, which is amazing. So there are many applications for a 360 camera, and to be honest, the Pocket 3 definitely has its time and its place. I like smooth cinematic videos, especially for my travel videos, but for the most part, life is pretty much chaotic, especially with children around and, you know, they're running around and you're trying to capture them. I will honestly grab the X3 any day when heading out for a day to focus on my activities more and spending time with my family, rather than worrying about my composition, whether or not I have the smoothest gimbal shot. So those are just some of my thoughts why I would pick the X3 over the Pocket 3. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.